sir, you can go ahead.
No, please, let me see it.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask that you go.
He doesn't want to leave.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today we're going to be doing a classic TCAP reaction where we are watching people of various professions just absolutely throw away their lives in order to be a creep and meet up with a decoy that they obviously thought were way younger than they actually were. Instead, they meet Chris Hansen, you know the deal. But today's person that's getting caught is actually a paramedic. That's right. We've had a couple teachers on so far. I don't think there's been any other professions like that have really struck me, but a paramedic, someone who has devoted their life to helping other people, is doing this monstrous act, and that is just mind-blowing. So make sure you watch until the very end, because I think this is going to be very exciting. But let's just get into this reaction and see how this dude gets caught.
Hey, come on in. I just cut my toe when I ran out there because there's rock on the ground. Just go put a band-aid on it, okay?
Where you at?
I gotta go get a band-aid before I bleed all over the rock.
Bro, okay, I gotta pause real quick. These lies that the decoys make, I don't know who's writing this, but we need some better writing here. I stepped outside and cut my toe on a rock because there was a sharp rock. I gotta go get a band-aid. Like, the dude's gonna know it's a setup just then. You can even hear him say, "Where are you?" Because he could tell that the person who is talking from behind this wall is probably not the, person that he thought he was talking to online, and this excuse is already BS. But we're getting right to the point. On these older episodes, they really don't have time to talk to the decoys. I think they still weren't sure how to really navigate that safely, so instead they just have Chris pop right out, and let's get right to that reveal then.
Oh, okay.
Hey, why don't you hang out, have a seat right next to the bar for me, will you? Keep your hands out of your pockets. Come on, just go over and have a seat, please. No, sir. Right here.
Yo, for a second I thought this dude was about to run out. I think we've only had a couple cases of that so far. I don't even know if we have had a case of that yet, but that's something that I think would happen way more often than it does, surprisingly. Like, Chris just tells these idiots to sit down in the chair and they're like, all right, I'm caught. I might as well just listen to this guy. He's my new owner. Like, what? Why are you just listening to him, dude? But I guess I'm thankful because it makes for great TV, and I don't want to rush you just getting caught by the cops before you can actually have this awkward conversation with the man himself, Chris Hansen. I mean, that's the best part. Don't spoil us here.
Why don't you tell me to get things started? Tell me what was happening.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I do, I'm sorry.
You're sorry for what?
You're a freaking idiot.
Yeah, idiot is a bit of an understatement. You can hold your head in your hands all you want, but we already got some clean shots of your face, my guy. Like, everyone in America at this time, whenever this came out in the mid-2000s, saw your face and knows who you are now. So there's no point in hiding, but I'm glad he knows he's an idiot at least.
What do you do for a living?
Paramedic.
A paramedic?
Yeah.
Now, in your chat here, you essentially say you're a firefighter.
Yeah.
Oh, that is like bonus cringe here. I don't know what that is about that, but there are levels to this right here. So already he's a paramedic, which is terrible that he is having a profession that good for humanity, and in his spare time off work is trying to meet up with people he meets online that are acting like this decoy, but might be actually real. Who knows how many times he's tried to meet up with someone from online like this. And the added cringe is that in the conversations with the decoy, he was fake flexing that he was a firefighter, which shows that, he wishes he's a firefighter. He probably comes to these crazy like car crash scenes in his job and just sees all those buff, cool firefighters with their freaking gear on, and he's like, man, I wish I could be one of those guys. Ugh. Instead, I'm just this soft meatball that is just, on the sidelines as an EMT. No one cares about me. Might as well go roleplay as one online, though. That'd be cool, right? Like, this dude's entire life is just so sad. We don't even know much about him, but we can tell he's just an absolute loser. Hold this L, buddy.
What was your plan here today?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I seriously don't know.
Well, it looks like you knew based upon this chat. Want me to rub your feet?
No.
Oh man, the way that Chris just goes right to the chat logs and the guys always try to just shut him down after he starts is hilarious. Like, Chris is just like, you said, I want to rub your feet. And the guy's just like, no, don't read that. Come on, man. We know what I said. Please just arrest me already or something. Don't read it out loud for everyone to hear. I don't want everyone to know how I spit game.
How do I know you're not a cop? I'm not a cop. How do I prove it? Call my cell and leave a message. What do you want me to say? How about firemen are
Wait, that's how you prove that you're not a cop? You have them leave a voicemail for you that's like a thirst trap? This dude is just on one, you know? Like, I love that they always predict that it's a sting in the chat logs, yet they still show up to this house, and then wouldn't you know it, you were actually correct for once, you dummy. It was a sting, and now your entire life is being thrown away, as the entire country as well knows at the same time how big of a creep you are. Like, that is just a double L in this dude's life that must just be filled with L's up until this point. Like, you could tell this dude is just a walking failure. He wanted her to compliment firemen. I'm sorry to say it to all my EMTs out there, but I'm sure most people would classify you guys as a grade below the firemen. You know, those are the ones that are running into the buildings that are on fire. That is just another level of insane. Not that EMTs don't have an insane job, and I do think all of them should be paid much more for what they do. I stand with my EMTs in terms of your guys' freaking pay. It is abhorrent how much you guys get paid for how insanely difficult that job is, but this is just insane cringe to me. Like, this dude wants to be a fireman so bad that he goes online to meet with people that he thinks are way younger than him, only to beg them to compliment him as if he's the coolest, most heroic firefighter ever. What a sad life.
What would have happened if I had not been here?
I would have done something stupid.
With the
I don't know, probably.
Okay, well, I will admit this guy has been the first person on the entire history of this show that I have seen so far that has actually answered that with some sort of honesty. When Chris usually asked them what they were going to do, they're like, I wasn't going to do nothing. I probably would have walked in and seen her and just said, hey, but I wasn't planning on doing nothing. I figured this was probably a sting, and I figured this wasn't legit, so I just really wanted to come in and check to see if this person was real or not. Other than that, you know, I just don't know. I probably wouldn't have done anything.
What should happen to you? Do you know that it's illegal
I know my career is probably over.
to do this?
I know.
What if this was your younger sister?
Yeah, obviously your career is over, but I think there's much more big things in your future that you should be looking out for, like possible jail time. That seems like it would be a little bit more important than you not being an EMT anymore, which also is just a travesty that you're losing your career. But again, this is your entire fault and no one else's. It was your actions. You were the one that chose to be a creep and show up at this house and even talk to this decoy online. So you're just getting your comeuppance at this point, for all I'm concerned.
Well, there's a couple things you need to know.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch television?
Yeah.
You ever watch Dateline?
Dateline?
Dateline NBC? Have you ever seen our stories on...
I've seen it.
This is one of them.
Oh, no.
So now is the time that we are all waiting for in every one of these episodes, when they finally bring the cameras out. And in my opinion, everybody is kind of hard to read for this stage. You know, you'll find some people that you think they're definitely going to just bolt as soon as they see the cameras, or maybe they'll try to square up and fight Chris Hansen or something, but it's always kind of hard to judge. So I'm not going to predict anything of any way this guy might react. I'm just going to see how this goes. But the way he's been pensive so far, I think he's just going to be a little wuss and run directly out the door as soon as the cameras come out.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline. If there's anything else you want to tell me, I'd like to hear it.
No, it's okay.
If not, you're obviously free to leave.
Okay, so apparently he's just frozen in fear and does not want to move from this position. Now, I don't know if that's because he's seen the show and he was lying about never seeing it, and he knows that as soon as he leaves this door, there is a group of policemen waiting to just lock him up for this heinous act that he was about to commit, or he just really doesn't know what to do. All I know is whoever these boom operators are and these cameramen, I think they're instructed by the show and by Chris Hansen to literally get as invasive as possible, because look at these booms, dude. Those are never supposed to be in the shot, but instead they're just overhanging, looming over this guy's head like, yep, you're on a TV production, buddy. Your life is over. They're like rubbing it in his face, and I love it.
Sir, you can go ahead now.
No, please, let me say that.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask that you go.
Oh my gosh, this is awkward. So this dude basically sits here for like half a minute after that, maybe a couple minutes, I don't know. With TV editing, it's hard to tell, but he's just sitting here with his head in his hands, begging Chris Hansen to go outside with him and talk with him off camera. I don't know what this means, if he thinks that he can just hand him, you know, $100 under the table and be like, hey, let's just delete that footage, huh? Or he just wants to square up and fight Chris out there. Either way, Chris is obviously not following him, as he knows what's waiting for this guy right outside the door. And this is one of the most lingering dudes I've ever seen when it comes to this this reveal. Usually they can't wait to get out of this house, but maybe he just realizes, you know, there's only down from here, and he thinks this chair is like the comfiest seat he's ever sat in, and he just wants to stay here as long as possible. So finally, after a couple minutes of convincing the guy, he finally leaves, and we know how this ends. He gets taken away in handcuffs, gets questioned by the police, and thankfully, another creep taken off the street by this show. One of the best shows ever made, I gotta admit. These classic episodes have a certain particular spice to them that I absolutely enjoy. So hopefully you guys liked this one as well. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching until the very end of every one of my videos. Grim Squad, you guys are absolutely amazing. Make sure to check out my Twitch if you haven't already. I'm streaming some Forza over there. I'm actually like a ridiculous ranking in Forza right now, like 800 in the world out of 11.8 million people, which is insane. So if you want to see some of that, check out my Twitch. Check out my Instagram as well if you want to see my life outside of YouTube. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.